WWE Chief Content Officer Paul Triple H Levesque has been accused by Dave Meltzer of picking himself for the WWE Hall of Fame and acting surprised when the announcement was made yesterday at WWE headquarters. Deonna Purrazzo addresses the reported frustration she has with lack of TV time in AEW. WWE President Nick Khan confirms that Jordynne Grace has signed with WWE. MJF references a Kevin Owens shoot promo last night on AEW Dynamite. Charlotte Flair is on her way back to WWE and she's coming back with a brand new nickname. Speaking of returns, Nikki Bella has opened up on a possible return to WWE and an update on NXT running a show at the Madison Square Garden Theatre. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. Let's begin with more details on Paul Triple H Levesque headlining this year's WWE Hall of Fame class of 2025. Now, Triple H is heading to the WWE Hall of Fame after a surprise announcement yesterday, but was it really a shock to the man in charge of creative for the company? Now, at a WWE Town Hall meeting for staff, Shawn Michaels announced that Triple H was being inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. Michaels was joined by The Undertaker for the announcement that seemed to catch the cerebral assassin completely by surprise. Triple H was almost rendered speechless before he was also joined by his wife, Stephanie McMahon. McMahon has claimed that she was in the dark about the announcement as well, but Dave Meltzer says he's not convinced that any of this is a shock. Speaking on Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer threw doubt over the announcement, coming as a surprise to Triple H, as it's his job to pick the WWE Hall of Fame inductees. Quote, "The Hall of Fame is picked by Paul Levesque. That's his job. It's the job that used to be Vince McMahon's job. Vince would never pick himself for the Hall of Fame because he was the one picking. Obviously, you have to come up with a story because Paul Levesque very well can't pick himself to main event the Hall of Fame the second year he's choosing the Hall of Fame cast. They did a thing at a meeting where Undertaker and Shawn Michaels came out. They said they were making an executive decision and he's going into the Hall of Fame as the main event guy." Now, Brian Alvarez noted that he believes the story Michaels and The Undertaker told could be the real one, but he thinks it's likely Triple H didn't know. But Meltzer continued saying, quote, "I don't buy it at all. Number one, it's pro wrestling. Number two, he's the one who's making all these decisions. Whoever's in the Hall of Fame, he's already laid out his list. He already knows who the main eventer is. So they can't go and tell him you're the main eventer when he's already picked the main eventer. If they just said you're in the Hall of Fame, that's one thing. But they said you're the main eventer in the Hall of Fame. He's got to know. I don't buy it for a second. I saw the clip and I wasn't convinced he didn't know." Now, the announcement means that every member of the Clique who ran roughshod backstage in WWE in the mid-90s will be a two-time WWE Hall of Famer. So what are your thoughts when it comes to this? Do you believe the story that Triple H didn't know, was genuinely surprised? Or do you believe what Dave Meltzer is saying, that it doesn't pass the smell test and he must have known, considering he's the person that picks the cast for the Hall of Fame every year? Let me know your thoughts about it in the comment section below. And there have been rumours recently, haven't there, about Deonna Purrazzo being frustrated with a lack of TV time in AEW, but the former TNA star is prepared to be patient. After signing with AEW, Deonna Purrazzo was initially featured in a high-profile spot and challenged for the Women's World title at Revolution, but following the end of her rivalry with Thunder Rosa in the summer, her appearances on Dynamite and Collision began to dwindle. During this period, she linked up with Taya Valkyrie, with the pair known as the Vendetta. The star has wrestled just twice on Collision since September, and the first ever Women's Casino Gauntlet match recently came and went without her. This led to reports of Deonna Purrazzo being very vocal to management about wanting to be used more often and more effectively on television. During an interview with Muscleman Malcolm, Purrazzo addressed the reports and her lack of appearances on Dynamite. She said, quote, "There's ebbs and flows to all of this, and there's been lots and lots of chatter. I'm a workhorse. I just started my 13th year of professional wrestling. I have never stopped wrestling, and I've never stopped loving this. Again, you have to want more for yourself. I do want more for myself. I want to be on Dynamite, but there's ebbs and flows, and we talked about our stacked division and who's on top right now, and it's just going to be a waiting game. But don't count me out of the fight, guys." Now, the former TNA star and Knockouts champion hasn't wrestled on Dynamite since April 17, 2024. Now, speaking of former TNA Knockouts World Champions Jordynne Grace, her signing with WWE has been confirmed. WWE President Nick Khan was at the WWE headquarters in Stamford, Connecticut on Wednesday for a town hall meeting, the same meeting that the announcement was made about Triple H entering the Hall of Fame. And according to PW Insider, Khan officially acknowledged that Jordynne Grace has signed with the company and WWE have high hopes for the former TNA Knockouts World Champion. Reports this week noted that Grace had signed with WWE and had been expected for months that she would join the organization after finishing up with TNA. Grace ended her run with TNA at the Genesis pay-per-view on January 19th, putting over Tessa Blanchard on the way out, and Grace finalized her WWE contract a couple of days later. Jordynne Grace is expected to make her WWE return on Saturday, February 1st as part of the Women's Royal Rumble match. PW Insider has reported that Grace will 100% be in Indianapolis this weekend for the 2025 Royal Rumble, although Grace has claimed she'll instead be in San Antonio, Texas for her mother's birthday, even going as far as posting tickets of her flight to San Antonio on social media. But of course, this is pro wrestling and anything is possible. Now, MJF, did you get the reference he did on Dynamite last night? Now, a classic Kevin Owens / Kevin Steen shoot interview was referenced on Wednesday night's edition of AEW Dynamite by MJF. Friedman appeared on Dynamite in a brief interview ahead of Jeff Jarrett's match with Claudio Castagnoli to earn a shot at the AEW World Championship, during which MJF referred to Castagnoli as half man, half horse. Quote, "You see, last week, Double J, I told you that sometimes you are better off making a deal with the devil than you are defying him. Tonight, you're going to learn that the hard way, because tonight you're going to have to go out there alone and face one of the most dangerous men AEW has to offer, and half man, half horse, Claudio Castagnoli," MJF said. Now, this was ultimately a callback to a Kevin Steen shoot interview during which he discussed Loki initially refusing to put over Claudio Castagnoli in Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. He said, quote, "I'll always remember him not wanting to lose to Claudio Castagnoli at PWG, and that blew my mind. How could you not lose? You don't want to lose to me? Whatever, man. You don't want to lose to Generico? That's one thing. You have a problem losing to a guy like Claudio Castagnoli, who had been the champion for almost a year and is a human horse. You don't want to lose to him? What are you going to do?" But he did. He ended up losing to him, and it was a really good match, Steen stated. Claudio Castagnoli ultimately defeated Loki to retain the PWG World Championship in May 2011. Castagnoli picked up the victory over Jeff Jarrett on AEW Dynamite following interference from the Death Riders. MJF then attacked Jarrett post-match, laying him out with the Dynamite Diamond ring. Now, Charlotte Flair, she's on her way back to WWE television, and she's got a new nickname. Charlotte Flair is on her way back to WWE after a long injury layoff, and it seems she'll be returning with a brand new nickname. During the December 8, 2023 edition of SmackDown, things fell apart for Charlotte Flair. During a match against Asuka, the star suffered a torn ACL, MCL, and meniscus, and unsurprisingly, the major damage required surgery. While recovering, Flair has largely stayed out of the spotlight, only occasionally uploading training clips, giving hints at her progress. However, in recent weeks, the star has appeared to drop several teasers about her impending return, and she's been pictured working out with several former and current WWE superstars. Charlotte Flair teased a new gang when she was backstage at NXT, but her return will definitely be on the main roster, confirming that she's going to be in the Royal Rumble. 1 week after a vignette aired featuring Flair, another one aired on the January 24th edition of SmackDown that gave more detail. This video featured Flair discussing her return to the ring and revealing she'll be part of the Royal Rumble on February 1st. Now, WWE Shop has showcased new merchandise for Flair as she gets ready to make her big comeback. The t-shirt features a picture of Charlotte Flair with words "Top Girl" written across Flair's eyes, indicating this could be a brand new moniker for the 14-time world champion. Now, Nikki Bella, speaking of returns, has opened up on a possible return to WWE. Nikki Bella has teased the possibility of a Bella Twins return after she appeared at the January 6th WWE Raw on Netflix premiere. With Bella having discussed her recent appearance, she revealed that the twins had a rocky road in WWE, but things had been mended. Bella has now opened up about a potential return, revealing that she missed being in WWE during an interview with US Weekly, saying, quote, "I've missed it for quite a few years. I miss being Nikki Bella. I miss being around that family. I definitely miss being in that ring. When they put me in the crowd at the Raw Netflix premiere, and to feel the energy and see the Bella Army, whether they were in the crowd or online, it starts to give you these feels. Going home to WWE, I don't think people understand. I started at 22. That's all I ever knew till a few years ago. So that's been the biggest home for me, and to go back and be home, and the environment there is so incredible." The women were just, what a great locker room. They were just so awesome and together and one and unity, and everyone back there was just so happy. You could tell the energy there right now is just incredible. I'm like, this is why we pave roads in this industry. I feel so blessed to go back and experience it. I'm like, okay, I think I need to experience this more. I really love it. I feel like I've still got it, so we'll see. She would go on to address the conversation that was had with Nikki Bella after January 6th, hinting at the possibility of a Bella Twins reunion in WWE, stating, quote, "When I went and I came back, I was like, Brie, it's so amazing, so maybe we should make a comeback. She's so in mom mode, but Brie has that fire in her too. She has that last run. I feel like it wouldn't take a lot to get her to come back with me." Now, Nikki and Brie Bella last competed in the 2022 Women's Royal Rumble on January 29th of that year. It was recently reported there was a strong expectation that Nikki Bella could return to the WWE ring. A report was also emerged that stating that conversations have taken place between both parties and Nikki is training for a return. The Bella Twins were inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame as part of the class of 2020. And finally, a bit of an update here when it comes to a unique NXT that could be planned for the future. Now, Fightful Select say they have an update about WWE NXT running Madison Square Garden Theatre. On January 29th, PW Insider reported that WWE were considering holding NXT in Madison Square Garden's The Theatre. Fightful Select's Corey Brennan has now confirmed that the event is currently internally scheduled for that date within WWE. In addition to the MSG date, NXT is also set to go on the road for the April 22nd edition of the program, with a location TBD. All other NXTs, save for the Madison Square Garden taping, are currently scheduled for the WWE Performance Center. But there you go, guys. Latest pro wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.